Just in case you are looking for a little bit of a project, though, I wanted to show you how to work with fresh clams. So I've got some here. For this recipe, you want like about 30. I'm going a little less just because these are good, big, nice clams. These are little necks, so they're like a nice size. They cook up really beautifully, nice and juicy and sweet and salty. So what I've done is I have soaked these in a bowl of cold water that has salt in it. Typically, I do about 3 liters of water to about a 1/4 cup of salt. What that's gonna do is it's gonna make those clams get rid of any of that sandiness they might have going on. Because bivalves, basically they eat by just sucking in a bunch of ocean water and then taking all the deliciousness and then spitting out the rest of it. Sometimes they don't spit out all the sand, and we want to get them to do that. So by putting in clean, salty water, that's hopefully gonna happen and you're gonna get perfect clams every time. Now, I've got a potato brush here, any sort of good kind of stiff bristled brush. You can also use a toothbrush, unused toothbrush, please. But you wanna give them just a little bit of a scrub. They can sometimes have a little bit of just some like ocean-y stuff on there. Just a little bit of a scrub is all you need. So again, working with clams, it's a little bit of work, but they are absolutely delicious. All right, those are looking good to me. So now what I want to do is get those out of the water. So I'm just going to actually use my hands and kind of scoop them up. If you're a little nervous, because they do open up and then they kind of like do this, like a little bit of a, just watch out. Give them a little bit of a poke and they'll be like, oh, no, and they'll close up and you'll be good to go. Now, if you wanted to do this soaking process earlier, you can totally do that. What I do is put a little bit of paper towel in this bowl and pop it in the fridge. You want to keep these nice and cold so they stay nice and fresh. Now, I'm going to get right on to the sauce, so those are looking good for me. Now, for the sauce, it's super simple. It's basically like an oily, garlicky deliciousness. So I've got a pan here over about medium heat, and into there I'm going in with about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. It is an oily sauce, so you do want to use a good amount of olive oil, and you are going to be, whoop, she got a little bit of water in there. Don't worry about it. Okay, perfect. Now into there, we're gonna go in with a shallot. Now, if you don't have a shallot, you could definitely use an onion. This is about 1 shallot. Use about half of an onion. Yellow or red will be good. Add that right on into that oil. Give it a quick season with a bit of salt. What that salt's gonna do is it's gonna kind of help draw moisture out of that shallot, helping it cook down and caramelize quicker. Now, you just want that to cook down for just about, I'd say, a minute, just until softened. While that does its thing, though, I'm gonna chop up some garlic. Now, since this is a really simple sauce, I'm gonna slice my garlic. I want it to be a little sweeter. So garlic is a funny thing. The more you cut it, the punchier and stronger it gets. So by slicing your garlic, even though you're gonna have bigger pieces, as it cooks down, it's going to taste less punchy. It's gonna be nice and sweet and delicious. So nice sliced garlic, 2 cloves, maybe 3 if you're feeling it, but we're going 2 today. And I'm gonna add that right on into the pan. You'll see the shallot's already turning golden brown, which is a dream. Pop that on in. And I'm not gonna lie, you know when you go to someone's house and this is the smell? You know you're in for a good thing. That's always a good thing. All right, again, a little bit more salt just to help that garlic do its thing. And into there, I'm also gonna go in with some heat. Now, I'm not using pepper in this recipe. For some reason, I don't love it in my clam linguini, but I do like chili flakes. So I'm right? Yeah. Okay, we're feeling good about chili flakes. I'm gonna go in with about a half a teaspoon. Since we've got some chili fans, might go a little bit bigger than that. Add that in. They can handle it for sure. All right, give that a good mix. Now, you just want that to toast off for about 30 seconds to a minute. The garlic is already smelling perfumey. Those chilies are getting a little toasty, which is a dream. So now I'm gonna deglaze this pan and help build everything together. And for that, we need our good friend dry white wine. We always love a dry white wine. Now, this is the wine that you have that's like your classic go-to house white. You don't want to use the like stuff you're saving for company coming over. You want to use something that you like to drink. It'll cook down and be absolutely beautiful. So, deglazing that pan with, in the recipe I say half a cup of wine, but I just poured in a cup, so you do you. Yeah. You know, measure with your heart, we're all good. And you want that just to cook down for just about a minute, just to thicken slightly and reduce a little bit. So while that does its thing and gets cooking down, that's looking beautiful. I'm gonna season up my water. So I'm going to be making some pasta, which is a dream. Now, anytime you're making pasta, especially if you're going fresh, I like to season the water really well because it's not in there for too long. So you wanna give it a good seasoning, just so those noodles get nice and tasty. I always feel it in the audience when I'm adding that salt and everyone's like, don't worry worry about it, it's good. Most of that goes down the drain, it's fine, it's fine. All right, this wine mixture is looking beautiful, still nice and juicy, but I'm gonna go in now with my clams. So I've got those babies. This is the weirdest part of the recipe and when working with fresh clams is it feels like you're just dumping rocks into a pan, but you're not, it's gonna be good. So just add those right on in. Bring that up a little bit in heat, and then you wanna cover them. Clams are very interesting. They basically tell you when they are done. Once they're open, they are done, and we're happy with that. I'm feeling good. So I'm gonna leave that lid on. Those need about 5, maybe 7 minutes to open up, depending on the size of clam you're using. But this is looking great. I'm gonna turn this water up, bring that to a boil. While that comes up to a boil, let's chat the pasta. So if you want to, you can use like classic dried linguini, something like that. You could also use fresh. If you're making it fresh, you could buy the fresh stuff. But I've got a bit of a hack, and it's using lasagna sheets. And this is a really great way to trick all your friends into thinking you made fresh pasta. So we've got a pack of lasagna sheets here. That's about 350-ish grams. And basically all you want to do is just slice this into, you know, linguini, fettuccine, etc. shapes. I will say, the messier you are, the more homemade they look, which is a dream. So, you know, you can cut out shapes, you can have fun, you can make your own alphagetti if you're feeling it. But if you want to as well, you can go pappardelle, which I'm clearly turning into because we're trying to get this done quick. The bigger you cut the noodle, the quicker you are, so it's good to go. This is a trick that I use pretty much, yeah, anytime I want to look like I'm being impressive. Lasagna sheets are also great if you want to make something like a cannelloni. Using a lasagna sheet as opposed to the dry stuff, those dry tubes that you get at the grocery store, is so much easier. Because basically you just roll it up as opposed to having to stuff those little tubes. Ugh, no one has time for that. All right, this is looking beautiful. I'm just gonna make about a half portion of this pasta because I don't have time to cut all these noodles. I'm not gonna lie. But basically, just cut them up, give them a little bit of a zhuzh, and it kind of looks like you made homemade pasta. Total dream. All right, I'm gonna add these right on into my pot, let them do their thing. And while those start to cook down, I'm gonna get to work on a crispy topping. Now, there are a couple things in the kitchen that people think you cannot do. And one of those things is mixing fish and cheese. I do not follow that rule, I'm not gonna lie. I love fish and cheese. I know, it's chaos, but it's delicious. But with this dish, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna stick to the purist side, but we are gonna give it a little bit of a crispy, crunchy topping. So I've got a pan here over about medium heat. Into there, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of oil. Ooh, that is a spicy pan. Okay, cool. A little bit of oil in there. Then I'm gonna go in with some garlic. Now, as opposed to slicing this garlic, I'm gonna mince this because I want it good and punchy. So I'm just gonna grate that right on over top. Tap that on in. Starts cooking immediately. Now, before that starts to brown, I'm going in with about a 1/4 cup, maybe 1/2 cup of panko. Panko is gonna give you like a crunch and a crumb that's gonna give you that flavor you're looking for and that little bit of texture that sometimes like Parmesan cheese or something does, but without giving you that cheese. I'm gonna add a little bit of spice because again, I like a little bit of chili with mine. And I'm feeling, ooh, very good to go. Okay, we're gonna let that get toasty. The noodles are cooking, the clams are doing their thing. I'm really quickly gonna get started on the kind of finishing piece of this recipe. Because anytime you are making clam linguini, it comes together toot sweet. As soon as those noodles are done and those clams are done, you better be putting it on a plate. So I have got a little cutting board here, obviously, and I've got a lemon. I like a little bit of lemon, brightens things up. So I'm gonna go into a bowl with the zest of about 1/2 of a lemon, maybe a whole, depending on what you're thinking. Tap that in. Then I'm gonna go in with some lemon juice as well. Little bit of lemon juice is gonna brighten everything up. We already have acidity from the white wine, which will be really nice, but this is gonna be absolutely beautiful. Then into there, some fresh parsley or any sort of fine herb you have. If you've got chives, that would be delicious. Tarragon would be wonderful. Parsley's kind of classic though. Chop it up however fine you want. Pop that in the bowl. Now let's go have a peek to see if those clams are done. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. Now, this is the point where you look through. If there are any clams that are not open, for instance, this little friend, he is not open. he's getting out of here. If they don't open, it typically means maybe not the best to eat, so we're gonna toss him aside. But any little clams that have opened up beautifully are perfect. You get all of that brine. Do you see how much juice is in here too? That is all just sauce, baby. All right, now I'm gonna add those noodles straight on into this pan. Give them a bit of a toss. This is a lot of clams, little linguini, but you know, make a little more linguini for your friends. We've also got that panko doing its thing. It's nice and golden, a little bit charred, and it looks and smells absolutely delicious. All right, noodles in, give that a bit of a toss. If it's feeling like it needs it, a little bit of that cooking liquid will be a dream, but to me, this looks perfect. All right, let's go plate this up. Easy as, oh wait, no, don't forget about this. Mary Berg, lemon. I'm too excited about these clams. All right, it's the pants. I'm feeling really good. All right, we're gonna go in with that lemon juice, lemon zest, and that beautiful parsley just to give it that bit of color. Total dream. All right, let's go plate it up now. So bringing it on over. I love just plating it in a big bowl. You get all those clams, all that juice. You pop that in, looking beautiful. Just arrange those clams all over the top. You've got that beautifulness, all of that lovely, lovely parsley, and then on top, those little bit of crunchies. I mean, to me, that looks like a seafood feast. Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.